Hey, good morning. It's Tuesday, January 12th, and I just finished exercising. Did a mile on the treadmill. Before that, I did yoga. Before that, I read T.D. Jakes' Destiny, Chapter 2. Before that, I read the Bible. And before that, I prayed. And before that, I went to sleep. Um, whew, I have to tell you that I did a walk run for a mile. I have not really been doing a lot of cardio of late. So I feel like when it comes to running, I'm out of shape. Yesterday, I did yoga. No, I did a mile on the treadmill where I walked and I ran. And then I did yoga. Then I did some other calisthenics. I tell you, when I got off the treadmill yesterday, my lungs were burning. This morning, my lungs are not burning. So there's something to be said about not letting your discomfort get you down and continuing to pass through because I feel good today and I don't know if I shortened my time from yesterday. I have to go back and look. But all I know is that I am feeling good. So today I wanted to share what I learned from Destiny in Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is There is More. Step towards greater fulfillment and purpose. And so there was a few things that actually spoke to me from this chapter, which I underlined. Give me a second to find them. Um, First, destiny is a journey, and you will fall down a few times and maybe even more. The key that opens the door to destiny is your willingness to get back up after delay, disappointment, or even disaster. Um, why did this speak to me? You know, when you read these books, you're listening to what somebody else is saying and you're trying to take their advice, or you're looking at it to say, okay, how does this apply to me? And if it's talking about a trap, what are those traps that I've fallen into? So this spoke to me because the key that opens the door to destiny is your willingness to get back up after delay, disappointment, or even disaster. And even though I've always been somebody who kind of refuses to be held down and held back, and if I fall down, I pull myself back up and I try to get myself back in the game, um, that works from, just going to work or not letting other people see your weakness and stuff like that. Um, so externally, it looks like there's nothing that keeps me down, there's nothing that holds me back. But internally, that's not always the case. Um, and I know that, in life, there's a lot of disappointment. And I think a coping mechanism that I came up with to deal with disappointment is just to kind of close off a part of myself, almost like to protect my heart. I don't, for a long time, and maybe still, I find it hard to look forward to things and to get really excited about things before they happen because there's always a chance that it's not going to happen and I don't want to be disappointed. So I think that mindset has kept me from experiencing a lot of good things that could have been in my life. Just because I wouldn't allow myself to go there, I walled myself off to kind of protect my heart. So that's something that I have to figure out how to get past. Um, the other thing is, greatness inspires greatness. Creativity inspires creativity. When you align yourself with people who inspire you and help draw out the best in you, you find your best self. Um, this I loved because I think this is kind of who I am. I, for a very long time, always saw the best in people, regardless of what their shortcomings were. I always looked at people just like, what is this wonderful thing that God has blessed you with? And or what is this wonderful thing that you've accomplished, that you've mastered, that I really appreciate? And I found inspiration in those things. And even though I wouldn't necessarily be so bold as to, profess that I'm a master of these things, or even to necessarily showcase these things, I would be inspired and kind of in my own quiet places um, say to myself, hey, if that person can do it, maybe I can do it. And it inspired me to try new things or to try a little harder, to focus a little harder, to pay attention to the details. Try again, because there's a lot to be gained through repetition, and practice makes perfect. And so I think that I have been surrounded by a lot of greatness all my life, and that those people and those great things that they have about them have inspired me. And I hope that I will continue to be inspired by others, and potentially be an inspiration for others as well. So that spoke to me. Um, Another one was, this is about imbalances in our lives can create frustration. So if you're always a giver and someone else is always the receiver, you're bound to become frustrated. This is my life. I consider myself to be a helper, um, someone who likes, to do for others. So I am the consummate giver, but I do find myself frustrated with people when it seems like I'm doing all the giving and they're doing all the receiving, and there isn't a balance. Um, it's probably why I'm single. Anyway, then in that same chapter it says, when you make a conscious decision to have balance in your life, you systematically eliminate the potential for frustration and misery. So it's wise to be balanced. And then the last point of the chapter is, God won't give you a vision or a destiny that is greater than what you can handle. Breathe in the vision that God has shown you and know that you can accomplish whatever your Creator apportioned to you. So I'm not sure what my destiny is, but for sure, whatever the goals are that I set for myself, I am going to be inspired to stick with them. I'm not going to be discouraged by anyone who maybe wants to try to tempt me away from the path that I'm on. Um, yeah, so that's that. That's my little share for today. Gotta go take a shower so I can get ready for work. Yeah.